Three, a two, one, and ghost. Hey, everybody. Welcome to 3, 2, 1 Ghost. I'm your host, not Tiny Tim, your host of the Silent G, Kyle. Hey, everybody. And always I'm joined by my pal, Natalie. Hey, Natalie. How are you?
Doing fantastic. Y'all thought it was Tiny Tim though, huh?
I know, right?
Back from the dead.
I think I do a pretty good impression, huh?
It's not bad. Not bad.
Thank you. Thank you.
Two boos.
So if anybody is looking for I can play ukulele a little bit. So if anybody is looking for a Tiny Tim impersonator, I feel like I could put on a wig and do that.
That feels bold, but I love that as a hobby for you.
Yeah. In case you thought we were talking about Tiny Tim randomly, we're not. Um, Not that it would have stopped us before, but hey, everybody, we are talking about the 1987. Um, it's a slasher film. Uh,
Hmm.
I just don't know how else to describe this movie, other than just a very, very low budget, low rent 80s slasher, Blood Harvest, which
Mhm.
I had never seen before. I suggested it. I don't
You
know
sure
why.
did.
I I'm not gonna, give any boost scores or anything just yet, but I've suggested, how many, what, 100 something episodes we've been doing this, and I've suggested some clunkers. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody, like, fuck, just the other month we were talking about what's the one? Ghost Ship. That's the
Ghost
one.
ship. Hmm.
But ooh, I think this one might we'll see how this conversation goes. This
Yeah.
might take the mantle as the worst movie I have suggested.
Yeah. It's definitely the lowest budget and film quality I think that we've tackled so far.
This is probably the most tasteless movie
Yeah. Yeah.
in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I think it's fair.
It's pretty gross. Trigger warning. Ugh, there's very some unfortunate sexual assault in this movie.
Yeah, there's a
No
lot of
dog death.
sexual assault in this
Yeah,
movie.
I know. No dog deaths, but yeah, a lot of sexual assault. It's not great. Um, this movie directed by Bill Rebane, who one has a great Wikipedia picture on his page, just looking real, just serious as fuck. And this dude, I guess he's known. I've never seen the other two movies he's known for, Monster A Go-Go and The Giant Spider Invasion. But
Mm.
also, according to Wikipedia, he ran for governor of Wisconsin in 1979.
Oh, interesting.
I don't think he won though.
He does have an interesting photo on Wikipedia.
Yeah. So check that, everybody. This movie is written by Frank Kinnikin, with a screenplay by Ben Benson. Don't you get it, Julie? Ben's son and Emil Joseph. So, with a story by Chris Villar and William Author,
There's four writers.
there's a lot of people involved in this, and I feel like the output does not match. You know how, like, you say, like, something is like greater than the sum of its parts? I feel
Yeah.
like it's the opposite here, where it's like somehow something is much less than
Uh-huh.
all the people that had a hand in deciding, like, oh no, this was a good idea. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So this movie stars Tiny Tim. May I say industry legend, Tiny Tim.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Super
Okay.
fun. Super creepy.
See, he was already doing creepy shit long before Insidious, but I think
Yeah.
people probably best know, and especially his biggest hit, Tiptoe Through the Tulips,
Hmm.
was, it lends itself just with his voice, right? He's just naturally very creepy.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
I feel like it wasn't Tiny Tim's so weird because, like, I've listened to some Tiny Tim albums. Um Unsuccessfully, like one Christmas I put on like a Tiny Tim Christmas, just playing through the house. That lasted all of like 2 minutes before, like, my
Yeah.
wife and mother were like, "What? Please
No.
stop. What is this? Can you please put on what's his face? Who's the guy, the really nice Canadian?"
Michael Bublé.
That's them. That's the one.
Ugh.
Thank you for knowing exactly who.
Yep. Because
I thought you were gonna.
that's like perfect mom Christmas music.
It wasn't like one. It's just weird because even watching these old videos of Tiny Tim, I was like, oh, well, maybe it's one of these things where, he was like very sweet and fun and people really into it. And then, you know, a horror movie just kind of twists it a little bit, to like make him creepier than he is. But I think he was pretty creepy from the get-go.
Yeah.
Um, this whole character of Tiny Tim that this guy plays, I do respect though, the man's commitment to his art. So do you know he died doing what he loved, right? He died playing Tiptoe Through the Tulips.
No way.
Well, kind of way. So, oh,
Okay, tell me
basically,
more.
so, like I almost kind of feel bad for him because like gosh, it seemed like towards like the end of his life, he was playing everything from like grocery store grand openings to, local foundation board like, or like women's Rotary Club dinners and things like that.
Hmm.
And he had played once, or at least like maybe it was like the the time before or like the last concert before his death, where he had a heart attack. He recovered, but the doctor was like, "Hey, bro, you cannot do this anymore. Like you cannot rock the way you rock on that ukulele. Like your heart will fucking just stop.
He's
You
like worth
got
it.
to." And he's like, worth it. But like the sad part, the likely maybe sad part is that like, but I mean, that's his income, right?
Hmm.
So it's hard to, I mean, people make risks for their health all the time. So it's like kind of sad, maybe if you think about it
Yeah.
that way. So he goes
Aw.
and plays this function, plays through his whole set, gets halfway through Tiptoe Through the Tulips, and says, "Excuse me, I'm sorry, but thank you." And then basically like collapses. And they try to resuscitate him, but he dies. So
Aw.
I know. So rest in peace, Tiny Tim. But in a very like fuck yeah metal way, like
Yeah.
disregarding all of, like the real life context and how like sad this story is. Um, hey, any rock star, in the old in the old
Hmm.
mold will probably tell you like that's the way to go, right?
Yeah.
So
Aw, that's sad. He was young too, only 64.
yeah. So someone caught him at like a county fair. I think it was maybe the writer or the director, and we're just like, hey, we've got an idea for you. You have any interest in this? It's called Blood Harvest. I don't know why it's called Blood Harvest. I mean, I
Yeah,
guess there's blood in the movie.
and there's farms
Yeah.
that are mentioned in the movie.
And I thought about it after the fact, trying to pose as like maybe this is my idea all along. But I was like, harvest. We're getting into fall. We're into spooky season. Got our picking out our cornucopias and
Oh,
arranging
gee.
them as you do, right? So I'm like, okay, yeah, Blood Harvest. Now, this movie's free on Tubi, which is
Yes,
great.
it is. It
So
fucking
is
better be. If I would have paid money for this movie, I would have been furious. I would have been, Kyle, I'm gonna need you to Venmo me 3.99.
yeah. There's also another Blood Harvest. I hope that wasn't the one you watched from like 2022,
Oh
which is,
no.
I think, completely different. So,
Yeah.
funny enough, this movie is also available via a video game. There's a game that came out a few years ago called High on Life that it's a first-person shooter, like sci-fi shooter, but it has like a lot of like comedy beats and elements. It's from the
Hmm.
dude, the guy that was canceled from Rick and Morty. And so like you have this gun or you have a series of guns, but these guns have faces and they like scream and yell at you and speak to you. And it's weird. But I have it. I just haven't played it yet. But I guess for some reason they bought the rights to Blood Harvest and you can in the game you can go to a room where a TV's on and you can watch this movie in its entirety.
I'd be so mad.
Why? Oh, just to go. Well, I mean, you don't have to watch it, but like
No,
you
I
literally
this
could
like
sit and just watch it.
free movie, and then you're just like, oh, this is why.
Yeah, this is why. So there's at least a couple ways to watch it. I'd probably just recommend Tubi though.
Yeah.
This movie also stars Etonia Salchak, who plays Jill. She's not in anything else. Maybe she was like one and done.
And I'm assuming that's not her real name because I was like, I clicked on her IMDb and then it was like, yeah, she just disappeared after this movie and nobody really knows whatever happened to her. And I'm like, wait, like, is she like missing? Or
I think
or
just
did
off
they
the
just
grid.
yeah, like are just really off the grid because there's like no information about her. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
She's not a great actress, so I don't blame her.
Though she is probably the best actress in the movie, right?
Maybe.
Maybe Sarah.
Sarah's better. I think Sarah's better. Yeah.
Yeah. Because everyone else, oof. Yeah, this hurts.
Yeah.
It's there's a lot of pausing, like people don't know what their lines are sometimes.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's a lot. So, it's on me for not researching this movie enough, but I'm still not upset that I watched it.
Yeah. I mean, I saw 1987 and the movie poster and it had me sold. I didn't really look into it. You said Tiny Tim. I was like, perfect. Let's do this shit.
Yeah.
I will admit I was expecting something a lot different, especially based off of the description that I read of this movie.
Yeah. The plot it's probably the shortest plot summary I've ever seen on Wikipedia. It's just a couple sentences. Um, you know, Jill's visiting home from college, parents are gone, Jill fears for her life with Gary and his unstable brother Mervo, more or less. So I thought, let's turn let's turn this pumpkin into a carriage, so to speak. Let's turn this lemon into some lemonade, the situation. And I was like, I'm going to do this movie justice today.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to go beat by beat
Hell yeah.
through this fucking thing.
Oh, I'm
And
ready.
then I thought to myself, you know what? It's Wikipedia. I say, I've got my notes. I might just go rewrite this whole plot. And
Perfect.
because it leaves a lot of context out. And I feel like I just don't know who is updating and taking care of the Wikipedia for Blood Harvest. So,
I also have some questions. Like there's some unanswered things that I didn't get. So we you might help me with that.
yeah, let's see if I know. Because that being said, it was a real struggle to keep track of what was going on,
Mm-hmm.
where they were, the
Mm-hmm.
geography of how far away everything was.
Yes,
It's a lot.
it is.
But that being said, may I ask for your trust in me to head into this town and guide us through Blood Harvest?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
You pay for Tiny Tim, people go to see Tiny Tim. Why shouldn't Tiny Tim be the first person on screen,
Of
right?
course.
Just singing creepily, doing his like Jack and Jill up the hill, whole situation
Hmm.
here. We're gonna see how many times through this I
I
just
I feel like this is the second of many.
it could be. Um, so we find someone hanging upside down in this barn and their throat getting slit.
Hmm.
Okay. So
Older white man.
this older white man, who we will learn is the father of Gary and Merv or Mervo. Now,
Oh, it is? That was one of my questions
yes,
already.
yeah, but it doesn't
Okay.
make that clear at first, because you've got Gary who is like watching from the house that must be close enough to this barn that he's just like
Mhm.
looking just like very like pouty, sad through the window
Yeah.
as the paramedics and fire are coming and responding to he keeps saying like a double DOA, which I googled what that I assume that means
Like dead on
double,
arrival.
right? But
Mhm.
I looked to see if that was like an actual phrase people used, and I did not see any evidence of that. So basically, we've got these two mysterious deaths that are happening, though I don't think they ever show. the woman. I think it's just the dad they show hanging upside down and getting his throat slit.
They show Merv feeding this woman.
Is it that
It
woman?
that that's my other question already. So many questions.
We'll get there
We'll
because
get to that. We'll get to
I
that.
I thought it was Jill's mother.
Which would imply that she's still alive.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. There's
We're
a
getting ahead of ourselves, but
getting ahead of ourselves. So the next day, maybe, or some indeterminate amount of time in the
mhm,
future, we have our main protagonist, Jill Robinson, who is arriving home from college. Now we have a voiceover, which is like her like having a phone call with her mom.
mhm,
Um, saying like, oh, sorry, I haven't been home in a while, and you know how things are, and you know, I hear people are being mean to dad, and it's just not his fault. It's his job, People are mad. He's just being a banker, So you learn that he's a
mhm,
banker.
mhm.
Um, but she's like, but I'll check on him when I come into town. So she walks into town. I don't know. Did she walk all the way?
I'm assuming she got dropped off by a taxi and like walked down the street. I have no idea how big this town is. It looks very like old Western.
Yeah.
Oh, it kind of reminds me of the town from Tremors, like of perfection.
There's paved roads at least
There
in this
are
town.
paved
A
roads.
couple.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. So close though. But I feel like God can't be more than like a town of like a couple hundred people,
Oh, for
tops,
sure.
right?
Hmm.
So not that you see any of them,
Hmm.
but so Jill shows up to her dad's bank, but no one has seen him or her mother.
Hmm.
So we also learn why everyone's so fucking pissed off at her dad. And you learn that a lot of farms all in the area have been foreclosing
Hmm.
and being auctioned off. The animals that don't get sold get slaughtered.
Oh,
People losing their livelihoods. Um, Fuck the
it's a
banks,
lot.
right?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. So already I'm just like, yeah, yeah, fuck Jill's dad. He's a fucking asshole.
Well, I'm also like, but how successful are these farms if nobody is paying their bills?
Well,
Like,
I don't.
obviously, there's a tough economic situation happening here.
Yeah. And, farms, often get, some government subsidies as well. Um, Even when they operate at a loss, just because, the importance of, the crops they produce. But, or maybe that's
Hmm.
more like those like big mega fucking shit ton of acre farms that are making like,
Probably.
I don't know. But yeah, it's a hard time out there, But if you've been a farmer all your life and then you lose your livelihood, the
Yeah,
thing
you're
is, you got
fucked.
to what I appreciate about the farms outside of the Seattle area, where I live, is year round they got something good. So like the farming itself is part of the business, of course, but it's like almost like little like carnivals they put on all the time. And I'm especially
Mm,
stoked this time of year because all the farms out in the outskirts all do it up for Halloween, which is
that's
great.
fun.
Yeah,
Big
everyone's got
money.
like everyone's got a corn maze, everyone's got like, there's like at least two or three that have like multiple haunted houses on them
I
on the
love that.
properties. Oh, I fucking love that shit. So that's what y'all got to do. You can't just depend on the pigs, you know?
Yeah, yeah, you got to get creative. Like Halloween is low-hanging fruit.
Yeah. Or you have like concerts. I remember seeing a concert at a farm not too far out from here. Um, and it was funny because I did skipped the opener, didn't even arrive, care for it because I parked, was walking to the entrance, saw a bunch of like little like baby pygmy horses and just walked over and just pet them on the head and
Yeah.
just enjoyed hanging out with them. And I
Oh
could
yeah,
hear the
tiny
music
horses.
from, yeah, I could hear them from the distance. I was like, this is good enough. This
Yeah,
is a great way to enjoy
that's a
whatever.
better situation.
I think so too, right? So again, and then too, like, all right, so maybe thinking way too far into this, maybe Jill's dad, the banker, who knows? Maybe it is like a drag me to hell situation where like he's like, I'm trying, guys. You can't just,
Yeah, like you can't let everybody keep their farm.
yeah, you can't just pay me in potatoes and goat testicles. You know what I mean? We
Hmm.
gotta do something.
That's what I'm
We
saying.
gotta generate some real revenue here. So, but yeah, either way. So we learned that, like I said, at least 3 or 4 farms already have been auctioned off after foreclosure. So people aren't happy with the Robinsons, and they certainly aren't happy to see Jill come back either, because they're just like,
Fuck you.
yeah,
Yeah.
fuck you, just by association.
I mean, saying that they're not happy feels like an understatement. They literally like vandalized their home.
Knows though, I just don't know if that's all Gary.
I don't know if that was all Gary either, but it seems unlikely that no one else would have seen that. And with how Jill is treated when she's in town, I can't imagine that people are particularly nice to them.
She gets a ride home to her house from her friend Sarah, who will show up again in this movie. And like you said, finds the house, very dramatically vandalized. And by that, I mean first of all, I'm going to pause and say the music in this movie,
Oh, I have a note about the music too.
I fucking love it.
That that's one thing you'll always get out of an 80s movie, whether it's big budget or low budget, whether the music fits or not. It's just so 80s and strange and just doesn't seem to fit completely, but I dig the music as well.
Yeah, me too. So, you know, it's like in red paint, it's like written like "fuck you" and "you suck" or "get out."
Like
Um,
Thief, things like that.
Thief, yeah, people are throwing like bricks through the windows.
Hmm.
There's a scarecrow like hanging from a noose inside the door. Um,
With an
but
arrow through it, which does imply that that was Gary. Because didn't he
yeah,
have a like a bow and arrow situation later?
yeah. All of these things you think would feel threatening enough, but not even close to her coming inside this house. And then we properly meet Merv, or the marvelous Mervo,
Hmm.
played by Tiny Tim,
Just
who
chilling.
is just chilling. Um, Saying, welcome back, I got you flowers, or and then like not answering any questions.
Yep.
Now we know that she knows this person because immediately she's like, what the fuck? And then she's like, oh, hey, Merv. She's
Yeah.
very casual in her responses to a lot of stuff, especially when things get like real bad later
Yeah.
on.
But also, even if you did know Merv, where the fuck are my parents and why are you just chilling here hanging out?
We learned that it's not only Merv, but his brother Gary,
Hmm.
who is a childhood friend, possibly,
No,
maybe.
more than friends, because they talk about having fun in the barn.
Yeah, so I mean, they were almost lovers, kind of. So kind of ex-lovers, but childhood friends.
Yeah.
But she went off to college, and then we also learned that she's engaged, which we'll get to
Hmm.
that. So why did they just let themselves inside this house?
Yeah.
Well,
Feels really super weird.
she refuses to lock her doors throughout this entire movie
She really does.
because so many times people just let themselves inside,
Hmm.
um,
A whole
and
movie.
and she just accepts it. She goes, oh, or like maybe sometimes, like if Mervo's acting like especially fucking weird, maybe she'll
Yeah.
start to be like, okay, Mervo, you gotta stop now. But like outside of that, it's just, oh boy.
Hmm.
Um, So he again, he walks in from the other room, Gary, all casually, um, also refusing to answer any of her questions. When she's
Yeah.
like, "Hey, have you seen my parents? What are you doing here? What's going on? Why are things so weird in town?" He's just like, "Oh," he ignores all of it.
He's just clowning around in the kitchen, just letting himself in, picking flowers
Both.
out of people's gardens.
Oh, I'm talking about Gary. I think they're both clowning around, to be
Oh yeah,
honest.
they are both clowning around.
One's just dressing the part.
One's just a literal clown.
Yeah. So Gary's like, well, no reason to, tell you why I'm in your parents' house. I'm gonna leave now with my clown brother. Okay, bye.
Are they like neighbors?
They must
Faraway
be,
neighbors?
yeah, but you don't know how far away.
Because it's very rural, so like obviously they're not house to house like a suburb, but
But I
close
think
enough that
they,
you could comfortably run from one to the other.
yes.
Hmm.
So throughout the day, she continues to get harassed. One dude calls just to say fuck you.
I
Aw.
love that. I'm gonna
Yeah,
start calling people just to say fuck you.
I know. Um, and then, people throwing rocks through the window. And and then at first you're like, okay, wait, is this Mervo? Because again, like they say Gary and Mervo say they left, but then also Mervo's like peeking out from Jill's parents' barn. Everybody has a house and a barn, by the way. Um,
But why is he in her barn and she's just fine with that?
I don't know.
I- I'd be like, Merv, I'm gonna need you to get out of the fucking barn, go back to your house, take that shit off your face. Like, also, fun side note, that
Hmm.
is Tiny Tim's clown costume. Like, it's his own.
Oh, good. I'm glad he already had
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, he already had one ready. So I thought that was a fun fact. But Gary mentions right off the bat that Mervo has been dressing up as a clown more often and for no particular reason. As someone who has three siblings, I have no siblings. You have three
Yeah.
brothers. Would you be concerned if one of your brothers, whether it was his profession or not, was just dressing up as a clown all the time?
And no, not particularly. Um,
You'd be cool with it?
yeah, because I mean, I don't. Well, I mean, obviously, but maybe let me pause and ask, clowns in general. Now, I guess I've never had the same fear of clowns like other people have, but I knew people that even as kids, like even before clowns like became, before like even they saw like the whole Pennywise thing, like very much were terrified of clowns. I had a friend who was very terrified of people in like character costumes, like
Oh
like
yeah,
like
I do
Chuck E.
not
Cheese
like
and
that.
Disneyland
Mm-mm.
type. He was
No,
not
thank
having
you.
it. Yeah,
I don't like that I
and
can't see their real face.
that's true. Who
No, thank
knows?
you.
Are they naked in there? What's going on? I don't like it.
Yeah, like I don't know, just going around hugging everybody.
Yeah, don't like that one bit. So now Jill, who again is, again getting rocks through the window, getting threatening calls, she's like, I need to go run to the sheriff. So she runs off into the woods, um, which I guess is the quickest way, rather, to get to this
I'm
town.
assuming a shortcut.
Yeah. Um, she's pursued by somebody who now I yeah, in the pantheon of slasher outfits, this one just doesn't pass
Oh,
muster. Nah, this one's
no.
dumb. It's this like, they're just wearing like just like a bulky jacket and pants, and they have, what is it? It's just like that like
Like,
hosiery, like,
yeah, like pantyhose.
yeah, just wearing pantyhose over his head. It reminds
Hmm.
me of the opening scene in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, where Kino like and the turtles start kicking those dudes' ass inside like the toy
Hmm.
store and the food court. It's fucking
The
classic, by the way.
Of course. The thing is, he's not even wearing baggy pants. He's pretty much wearing Gary's regular outfit just with a big coat. and the
Oh yeah,
pantyhose
yeah.
on his head. Like immediately I was like, is that Gary?
You can never like exactly tell the way it smushes his face, but yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, I guess you're right. He's wearing just like jeans and those white sneakers like the whole
Yeah.
time. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Same
oh, it's
outfit.
Gary.
Hmm.
So like immediately I was like, oh, okay.
It's definitely Gary. And
Is it?
also, they're playing so hard that Merv is like the red herring that, you know, no one's believing that this guy is harming anybody.
Yeah, I was like, maybe Merv is maybe helping, maybe,
Yeah,
but
maybe he's an accomplice or just like not letting his brother get caught.
this is clearly Gary from the get-go.
Absolutely. His
Yeah.
motive
So
is solid
yeah. Um,
compared to everyone else in the movie.
so she makes it in town after getting shot in the face by a couple paintballing teenagers. You never see them again. I like that the guy tries to shoot his shot though, and
I
gives her a ride
love
in,
that.
and he's
Yeah.
like, "So, you want to go out?" And she's like, "No," and he's like, "It's meaningless sex then, you
Yeah.
know?"
Well, she says, no, I'm engaged. And he says, meaningless sex then. And I was like, you know what? Good for him.
Well, I don't like him disrespecting, well, one, just her no, and then also being engaged. Um, but I'm like, that is pretty bold considering you just shot her in the fucking face with a paintball.
Yeah, that's true. I will say, even in 1987, I'm still a little bit disappointed that she couldn't have just been like, no, I'm not interested. Like, why you gotta be engaged, girl? Just be like, no, you shot
Yeah.
me in the face with a paintball gun. No, thank you. Hard pass.
Uh, Unfortunately, men suck, and I think dudes sometimes will like will almost respond to that, like in this like
Hmm.
weird, creepy, like respect of ownership kind of way.
Well, it's respect of another man.
Right, exactly. It's not
Yeah.
respecting her at all.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
my favorite response is I'm married, but more importantly, not interested.
Yeah.
So anyone can take that one. Men
Yeah.
hate that.
So it's just like, especially, I want to make absolute clear,
Mhm.
no, like,
Yeah.
so she goes to the sheriff, who's largely useless, and I thought
He does
kind of
not like working.
no, and I thought was like a wasted character, or at least I thought that could have been another death.
Yeah, I agree. And he's also like kind of fun because he's just
Yeah.
really like off the wall. He's one of the better actors, I would say, too, in this movie, sadly. But I think he's one of the more interesting characters, and I would have liked to see more of the sheriff.
Yeah, I think he brings the vibe of like, those like kind of goofy adult characters that show up in the Friday the 13th movies, like the
Yeah,
townspeople.
yeah,
Um, I I concur. So begrudgingly, he's like, all right, fine, I'll go to your house.
yeah.
Let's
He's like, there's
go.
a baseball game on, but fine.
Yeah, I hear that. So sometimes I'll have a baseball game on the background while we record, only
I
once or
know.
twice. Yeah. So only if it's an important game. So now they get to the house and miraculously the windows are all fixed up. There's no graffiti on the walls. The scarecrow hanging from the news, he's gone. And the sheriff's like, bro, you pulling a fast one on me? Like, really? Like, what are
Yeah.
we doing out here?
I'd be like,
Are you
there's got
just
to be wet paint to cover that
right?
shit. That looks
He
like
does
paint.
he does not even want to investigate. He's just like,
Mm-mm.
all right. Well, you got a free ride home. Okay, well, I'm gonna leave now. Um, we also get a couple like random interspersed scenes with Mervo, crying in a church about his parents.
Yeah.
Um, and then the weirdest part is so he's also, and I don't know, I'm sorry if we revisit this area anymore after this scene, but Mervo also has this like fucking Shire looking bag end like bunker
Yeah.
that he is holding an older woman hostage, tied up inside. We don't see this woman's face,
No.
but he is like trying to bring her food, and you think he is like holding her captive, maybe not, or maybe like someone else is holding her captive and he's just trying to be
Hmm.
friendly, which might be
I,
it, but he's
I
also just
think
very off-putting.
I think that's the most likely situation is he's trying to help her. But it immediately like it didn't occur to me or like make me think at any point that he was doing anything wrong. I was like, oh, it's definitely his brother, and he's like trying to help the situation any way he can.
I was gonna say like, or at worst, it was a situation like a House of Wax remake situation
Mm,
where it's not the who you think might be like the aggressive, mentally unstable twin. It's
hmm
actually, well, you find out really the mentally unstable twin
hmm
is, whatever, whatever, or the more, at least like more well presented guy.
Yeah.
I don't remember their names, but like, but they're both in on it, more or
Yeah.
less.
Yeah.
Right. So I couldn't tell. Again, I thought this was Jill's mother. And I'm like, oh, okay, so they're holding her parents captive somewhere.
That's what I was thinking too. We never see her dad, which is why I thought that that man at the beginning was her dad because they tell a whole story about their parents.
Right?
I think that's Jill's dad, but she also like is more upset about Scott and Sarah than him when they're all in the barn. So that was the only thing. I was like, who the fuck is that guy?
It
And I'm
can't
assuming that's
be
her mom.
it can't be Jill's dad
Okay.
because the paramedics find him and take him down. How would they not identify him as like the banker, the most infamous guy in town?
So that man that's in the beginning scene is a different man than is hanging in the barn when Jill finds all the bodies.
Are you sure?
I'm asking. I'm not sure.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, I guess it's got to be a different body then. Oh God, this movie.
I
So
know. It's a lot. So sorry, everyone.
yeah. So okay, all right. Back at Jill's place, Gary shows up randomly, just lets himself in again, and he's
Hmm
like, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. The time it took you to have like bricks thrown through your window and then to run off to the sheriff's station and then for the sheriff to bring you back, I managed to fix all your windows, clean everything up, repaint the whole
hmm
front of the house, everything that was vandalized."
Just to be nice.
Yeah. And also casually mentions that his parents were one of the families that lost their farm due to
Hmm
all these foreclosures. And
Which is like red flag.
yeah, definitely of many. And
Yeah.
but Jill, it's so funny because she's still just like, why is everyone just so upset? He's just doing his job. And
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, I'm sorry though. If your fucking job is the suffering of others, like, fuck, I don't know what to tell you.
Um,
That's the fucking price you pay to have a job that makes you profit off people suffering. Sorry. Um, but she's like, I don't get it.
and
But
well, she's also very much like, where are they? Where is everyone? I'd be like, no, I'm going to report them missing and I'm going to need to stay somewhere else. Like,
yeah,
this is weird.
like, and that's why I was thinking like maybe the sheriff would be in on it because I'm like, if she's like reporting the missing, maybe, and he's like, oh
Mm,
yeah, I'll look into that. I'm never going to look into this
yeah.
because everybody hates him. So like nobody's going
hmm
to be looking out for him.
Yeah.
I think the best they suggest is like, well, everyone kind of fucking hates him right now. So he may have just left for a few days. You never know.
Yeah. What's that going to
So
do?
that woman in that Shire bunker has to be Jill's mom.
It
The
has to be Jill's
challenge
mom. Yeah.
is that we never find out what happens to her.
No, I know. They never show her again. So I guess Jill's going to be really excited to find that her mom is still alive.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll, seemingly well fed enough.
Yeah.
So that's good. Um, Merv, but she'd still identify Merv and be like, this man also is an accomplice.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So Gary's like, hey, let's don't worry about all that stuff. Let's go on a walk, let's go check
Mhm.
out the old childhood
Go
tree fort.
frolic through the trees or the
I
field.
know when they're like skipping and he does
The
like the like
music.
little and he like tries to like kick her like in the behind a little bit
Yeah.
like ha 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 ha.
And the Jack and Jill like song is being sung by Mervo.
Oh my gosh. It's this stuff I think is still pretty good. I like
No,
this
that's the
those
thing.
things.
I like those like cheesy moments
Yeah.
in between the bad storytelling.
Yeah. So do you ever have a tree for it? I didn't.
I didn't have a tree for it, but I had one of those, those like double-decker Home Depot playground type things where it has like a top floor and a bottom floor and like a swing set attached to it.
Ooh la la.
You ever
No.
seen one of those?
I don't
Oh,
think
well,
so.
yeah, they used to be at like every Home Depot, but we had a ginormous yard because we had all these animals and land, and I had one of those like big wooden play structures. So that was the closest thing I had to a tree house. Not in a tree. How about you?
No.
Hmm.
So it's it
Not a very California thing.
in Southern California, I just don't think the trees are strong enough. And
Fur of plenty.
yeah, yeah, you can't really it's hard to put a tree fort in a palm tree, which
Yeah,
aren't even
no.
native to
Yeah,
California anyway,
no.
right? And I think just the likelihood of things catching fire,
Yeah,
so and not big on heights, but I like the idea of a tree fort, you know?
yeah.
So
See, I thought they were in the barn.
no, I don't think so. No,
Okay.
there's yeah, I think it's a separate tree fort that they were
Okay.
in.
I'm just making stuff
And
up now.
yeah, so it's like when they like, oh yeah, remember when your dad walked in on us? I think it's at the tree fort, not in the barn.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because they talk about that. They're like, oh, what?
See, I thought they were when she said when the dad walked in on them, she was talking about them having sex or at least like hooking up,
Yeah.
implying like a romantic history.
Yes, yes. So, but I just wasn't sure how far it went. Where like maybe they almost had, and then if because they say like, oh, if my dad hadn't walked in, who knows? Maybe
Yeah, I guess
we'd be
that's true.
lovers. I guess. You
I
know.
just if Homeboy's going around murdering people for this woman, like I just assumed she must have really turned it out. Like he was like, "Wow, I
Yeah.
I need to kill everyone she loves and be with her."
So they're just reminiscing about the old days, right? And what could have been.
Mhm.
I like how she just very like, oh gosh, I just really like, okay, I hate
Mhm.
using this term, but for lack of a
No,
better
do
term, what
it.
she's just like friend zoning the shit out of Gary
Oh, yeah.
hard and
Yeah.
like almost being like, uh, yeah, wow, it could have been you and me together, but now it's me and Scott together, you know.
Yeah, she literally does say that. And I'm like, damn, no wonder why he's going on a murderous rampage.
I know. I'm like, oh my God, that's so bad.
Another
So
another reason to think that Gary's the killer.
he also casually adds, he's like, yeah, it wasn't even just that yeah, my parents lost that farm, but they were also brutally murdered and left hanging for 3 days. And I think that's why Merv's a clown now.
I thought he said they commit suicide. They committed suicide.
Mm-mm. They don't worry, they do. That's part of the
Oh, he
quote
makes
unquote
it look
twist.
like murder. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think after they've killed themselves, he goes and slits their throats afterwards. I
Okay.
don't think you can kill yourself by like hanging yourself by your feet.
No.
As-
And this is one of the issues that I had with this movie. Perhaps I should have watched it twice, but
It doesn't help much a second
it
watch, to be
the
honest.
dialogue is meant to give you backstory, give you, context to things, and I still was very confused, like almost as if every time someone revealed something, I was more confused by what they shared because my assumptions made more sense.
That's fair.
You know what I mean?
So Gary's like, hey, you know what? All the dead parents, clown brother stuff, you know, hey, bygones be bygones,
It's all
you
good.
know, at least we have each other now.
Mhm.
Jill's like,
Oh,
ooh,
check, please.
well, yeah, check please. So I'm engaged. Um, so and then also maybe I might not be going back to college, but I'm certainly not staying here.
Hmm.
So Gary gets all pouty. He's like, okay, fine, sure. Oh man, dude, shit.
Oh,
I know.
yeah. Gary and his feelings.
But they still, but she's like, oh, lug, and then but they still happily skip away though.
Yeah, they still
Uh,
have a good frolic, as one does.
yeah. Later that night, Jill's still like, this has been a couple days now. She cannot find her parents. Um, and maybe that's why she keeps the doors unlocked, thinking that like they're just gonna walk in. But I think
I
they'd
mean,
have
they should
keys to
have a
their own
key.
house. I would
Yeah.
hope. Um, she goes and jumps in the shower. Um, this is when you immediately texted me.
I knew it. I knew you were gonna call me out.
First text is like pile, and then I'm like, what? And then it's like this fucking movie. And then it's something. Then it must have been before this happened because then you get
He
like,
was like
oh
literally 5 minutes later.
yeah, yeah. You're just like, ooh, okay, full bush, okay, one boo.
I mean, it was pretty early in the movie, so I can't
Yeah,
hold to that one boo. But this is like one of two times that the gratuitous nudity is not sexual assault. So I appreciated this scene.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
And you know what? They use any excuse they can to show this actress's titties, and I have to say, she has magnificent boobs. They're so nice.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, this movie, it's like, you just make like a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy of something,
Hmm.
and it just becomes this like fucked up, like, I don't know. What I think is that it's everything that people criticize about slashers,
Hmm.
just lazily just put all into a movie, or
Oh
like,
yeah.
yeah, like they don't.
There's no rhyme or reason for the nudity in this movie.
I could even at least justify some of like the Friday the 13th nudity
Oh
over
yeah.
a lot of this, and
Agree.
especially how like she's always framed, um and just how they treat, really the only two women in this movie.
Hmm.
It's always fully sexualized compared to everybody else.
Hmm.
So, we see a mysterious figure down in the basement fucking with like the water valves, or the water heater or something,
Hmm.
to run the water really, really hot. So she jumps out of the shower. She goes downstairs and sees that like the sink isn't running when she tries to turn that on. Um, and then just fucking Merv just lets himself right
Yep.
inside.
Here he is.
Um, just being like, I'm a tree with my branches or some shit, you
Yeah.
know, and being like, why can't I make myself ever happy, and
Yeah.
all this stuff someone says before they murder you and leave you in a ditch, right?
And she's like not fully dressed, fresh out of the shower. And this is where I get confused because Merv's popping in, telling weird jokes, singing his songs. And does he hit on her? Because she's like, Merv, no, like pauses him. Like, was he going to like reach for her?
Yeah, I think he was trying to make a move.
Okay, yeah, that's bold, Merv, considering you know that your brother is going around murdering people for this woman.
Yeah. Do you think that would work if someone tried to make a move on you in full clown makeup?
Jesus Christ, no, no. I would,
He
that
did make
person,
her coffee. I know you love coffee.
I do love coffee, and that's a good first start. But not the clown makeup wouldn't have even made it in the house.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So she goes, nope, Merv, you gotta go. Sorry, thanks, but no thanks. But just again, just how just like calm she is
Yes.
around all of this is a lot for me. So he slinks away. Again, lock your fucking doors because
Hmm.
clearly
She
there's
did not.
multiple men that have no boundaries
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
Later that night, she goes, pokes her head out the window upstairs to find a stranger sitting on a swing out back, making crying baby sounds,
Yeah.
as you do. Calls the sheriff. Sheriff gives her shit again, but at least each time he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna swing by. I'm gonna do my job. I'm gonna come
Yeah.
by, check things out." So I'll at least give him credit for that.
No poker game for him.
Yeah. But then immediately shows up and it's like, "Oh, yeah, obviously it's Merv." And Merv's like,
Was
"What
it
did I?"
Merv or was it?
Yeah,
I thought it was her mom. I don't know why.
I
'Cause
don't.
it
The
looked
big,
like someone wearing white.
yeah, I don't know. Right? Why would it be though? I
I
don't
have
know.
no idea.
So the sheriff claims it's Merv, and Merv doesn't seem to deny it.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I've been peeking around the windows.
Yeah, I'm just creeping and peeking,
Yeah.
as I do.
Mm-hmm.
So
Just dressed up as a clown.
yeah. And then like she's like, okay, can you like just like fucking take him home, please? Like get him the fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Um so this is the first of very, very uncomfortable sexual assault scenes. I'm sorry. Now remember we've got two suspicious characters, right? One that's
Mm-hmm.
Merv, and then the other one who's very, very clearly Gary. But
Yeah.
they really try to hide this for a long time.
Yeah. Like there's some big reveal that's gonna happen.
Yeah, like there's literally only four characters in this movie, five characters. Like it's got to be one of them.
Yeah,
Um,
and Merv couldn't realistically switch out of that full clown face makeup in and out with the pantyhose over his face quickly enough to be himself and the killer.
yeah. So the other person, Gary, really, crawls through her window, cuts the power, and then like I guess just has like some supply of like chloroform or something that he's
As
using.
creeps do.
Yeah, to put over her face while she's sleeping and like
Hmm.
really knock her out.
Yeah.
Um, and then ties her up and takes photos of her with her shirt open.
Hmm.
Um,
And in her underwear.
yeah, in her underwear.
Hmm.
Um, those,
There's no
we
purpose to this other than him
they're
just being a weirdo.
just being a weirdo creep pervert.
Hmm.
There's no purpose to this.
Hmm.
Nothing that like justifies like his like fucked up like you know fascination with her or like women or like something like twisted that like you know that he learned from childhood. None of it.
Hmm.
I did think it was weird that though when he shows he's like putting together like a collage of the photos, but she's at least wearing a bra in the photos where she was
Oh, I didn't
topless in
even
bed.
notice that.
But just a dumb consistency, continuity error, but who
Yeah.
cares?
Hmm.
So very unfortunate. We also meet Scott now, who shows up the next morning. Again, nobody
Just
knocks.
let
People
himself
just
in.
let himself in.
Mhm.
And then immediately starts being a horn dog,
Of course.
just being like,
At
she's
least
like,
they're engaged.
at least, right? Because he's like, hey, what's up, girl? Looking good. Let's fuck. And then she's like, oh yeah, um, yeah, weird. All the power was cut off or something, and I don't know what happened last night. And my parents have been missing for a few days, and people are attacking the house. And he's like, yeah, 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 cool story. Let's fuck.
Yeah.
He's like, first things first. Come on. And
Yeah.
she's like, oh, okay. And then they just like,
Yeah.
fucking flirt and run around the house. And he's just like, I'm gonna
Hey,
embarrass you.
that could work.
You know, I think that, yeah, fear could be a sexual motivator,
There you
maybe.
go. Hmm.
I don't know. So they run around the house and then end up downstairs in the living room and maybe have sex.
It's so weird and unclear. Like she's practically naked. He's still wearing a full ass pair of Levi's jeans with a belt.
And
And
that was because the actor Peter Krause, by the way, who's the only known person in this
yeah.
movie outside of Tiny Tim. He was in Sports Night. He was in Parenthood, maybe. I never watched that one.
I mean,
But but he refused to take his jeans off.
I love that
And
for him. But he talks like post, like he's giving like post sex talk. Like he's like,
yeah,
ooh, like after that workout. I'm like,
I need a beer,
did you
you
have a
know?
workout? Like y'all just laying on the ground with clothes.
Yeah,
But
or at
she's
least
wearing his shirt too afterwards, and then she wears this for quite a long time with no pants.
yeah. Fucking Gary and comes by and sees Scott's car
Hmm.
and just starts leering through the window watching them, giving like the same like crybaby sad look that you
Oh
saw in
my
the
God.
beginning, watching through the window like of his like parents like bodies being
Uh-huh.
taken out of the barn
Yeah.
and then just like lingers and watches like
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
For longer than he should. I'm assuming they're implying that what we don't see is, or what Gary sees that we don't see is them fucking, right?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeez. So Sarah calls and interrupts. Gary runs off. Scott says like, "Hey, only got some juice in here. That's not gonna do it. I need a beer, so I'm gonna head into town, grab some, and be back. And then maybe fucking say a couple things to the sheriff on my way.
Hmm. There you
Least you
go.
could do, I suppose.
Yeah.
He doesn't make it far because he sees that strange figure, which is Gary.
Hmm.
Um, Follows him into the barn and then immediately gets knocked out with like a bat or something and gets dragged inside.
Yeah.
So
That's bad.
goodbye, Scott, for now.
Hmm.
Gary conveniently just like walks around back from the barn and into Jill's house and it's just like, oh hey Jill, what's going on? Who's that car? And then
Where are your
she's
pants?
still wear your pants, and she's just like, without wearing pants, being like, oh hey, oh it's Scott, I'd love you to meet him. I want your opinion. I think you'll like
Yeah.
him, kind of shit.
I'd be like, girl, I'm gonna need you to put on some pants. Like
Yeah.
right now.
That her boundaries with him are even, yeah,
Like
get even blurrier.
we friend zoned him so hard, but then answer the door without pants.
Yeah. So, geez. Merv comes and kind of cock blocks Gary. Mervy just doing his Mervy shit. And he's like, all right, I'm gonna get my fucking brother out of here. I'll see you
Oh,
later.
and Gary says something that's so creepy. He asked her for a sisterly kiss.
Oh,
I
yeah,
was like,
yeah.
ugh, no. Mm-mm.
Yeah, there's a lot of this like sisterly kissing and like her being like, I love you like a brother, that kind
Hmm.
of stuff. It's yeah. Sarah arrives for a little bit and they have the girl talk, they
Hmm.
share photos of Scott,
I
you
wish there was
know.
more Sarah, just so
Yeah,
that
me
she
too.
had like another woman to play off of. Or so that
Yeah,
someone could be like, don't you think it's kind of weird that all these fucking men just keep walking into your house uninvited?
agreed. Because I feel
Like,
like if anybody, Sarah, if being the only person that like likes her and also isn't trying to murder her
yep.
in this town, I feel like Sarah would be pretty helpful here. But
Yeah.
she's like, I'm gonna go home. I'll see you later. She does not make it far because you
She's going
have
to work.
Sarah's death. Or is that where she's going? Is off to work?
Hmm.
Yeah. Ugh, yeah. Oof. Her death is pretty bad. She gets attacked by Gary, and taken into the barn. She, again, it's, the difference between like Sarah and Jill and the others is that like first things first, we got to cut that shirt right open.
Yeah, he was like, we need to get you in your bra and panties. The bra is very much see-through.
Hmm.
Um, it's silly that Gary goes through this whole thing of like hanging them upside down. I know like he's meaning to do it like the pigs.
Yeah.
Um, and slits their throats because it's like the most boring deaths over and over again. So maybe they were like, okay, so how we're gonna make this interesting is we're gonna rip off this girl's clothes and then slit her throat. And they were like, ah, genius, how original.
And then you have the arrow through the hand effect thing.
Oh yeah, that was fun. I did like the arrow through the hand.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, fucking Sarah's dead.
Hmm.
Because yeah, hangs her up and slits her throat.
Oh, poor Sarah.
Gary casually just shows up again in Jill's house, claiming to be looking for Merv.
Hmm.
Um, is saying that he hasn't seen him, even though like we cut to
And he
shots
was
of
very
Merv
and he was
like
very
being
upset.
home.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know Gary's making this shit up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we don't know at this point that that's their home, right?
I I mean I guess so because they don't unless there's some other hiding place that Merv hangs out with or hangs out at, I don't know.
Hmm.
So claiming to be looking for Merv, acting like a prick, you know,
Hmm.
obviously Jill's like, "Hey, Scott still hasn't come back and Sarah, hasn't,
Yeah, she
I
didn't
can't
show
get a
up to
hold of her
work.
either."
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm still not
and
wearing pants.
yeah, she was like, yeah, I forgot how it got brought up. She was like, yeah, showing, Sarah like a picture of Scott. And then Gary's like, well, I don't get to see a picture of Scott. What's that make me? Blah, blah, blah. And you're just like, fuck you. I
Yeah.
hate you so
No
much.
one cares about you, Gary.
I was like, if you are not the killer, I need you dead right
Yeah,
now.
I need you dead 30 minutes ago.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And Gary's like, well, maybe she saw his picture and found him and they fell in love and ran off together. So why don't you come and stay with me?
Yeah.
Like a fucking creep.
Great.
So yeah, she's like, you need to go. He
Yeah.
leaves. And she cries a little bit, which makes sense. Um, Only to fall asleep on the couch downstairs and gets chloroformed again.
Again, twice in like
Again.
2 days.
I don't know if that's healthy.
I don't think it is. I don't know
No.
what type of long-term or short-term effects chloroform would have other than like knocking you out, maybe slight memory loss. I've never really looked into that, but they use it a lot in movies. And it's one
Yeah.
of those things like growing up as a kid that you were like, oh, one day, like I'm for sure just going to get chloroformed by some evil villain and I'm going to wake up in a different place. I always thought that would happen. It hasn't, luckily.
Well, I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah.
So this time she gets taken out to the barn. And again, this is really dumb. Like a super useless scene
Hmm.
because she takes her out to the barn where Sarah's dead, Scott's still alive, just hanging upside
Hmm.
down. Um, Maybe like duct tape over his mouth or something. And only to pick Jill back up and take her back to the house
Was that because the
immediately.
cops showed up?
It was only because, yeah, the sheriff shows up again.
So maybe he
To
was going to like reveal the situation and kill Scott in front of her. And then he was like, oh shit, the cops.
Yeah, but what does it matter if the sheriff shows up and she's not home? There could be a million reasons why she's not home.
That's true.
Yeah, so he's just like, oh shit, I gotta go, and then just runs literally like as he's pulling up. I don't know how the sheriff doesn't see this. That's why
Yeah.
I was thinking the sheriff was going to show up and be like, "Did you get her? Is it done yet?" Like,
Oh, that would have been cool.
right?
Yeah.
Or at least make a little bit more sense because we also never see the sheriff again.
Mm, mm-hmm. Very
So
true.
only to put her back on the couch. Um, and then he goes back to the barn, Gary does, and then kills Scott, slits his throat.
Mm-hmm.
So Scott's dead, Sarah's dead.
Bye,
At
Scott.
least we know that. So
We know that.
Jill comes to. It's like, I'm gonna go to the kitchen for a quick snack. Oh no, there's some juice. I know they got juice.
Yeah, she got
She
juice.
mentioned that. But and I saw it's a little thing of Hawaiian punch inside there, which is great.
Yeah,
Which
but it was still in glass or the can.
it's in, I think it's like it looked like a can.
Remember those giant cans of juice? Like the juicy juice would come in like a ginormous can,
Yeah.
and you'd have to like pop it with like the sharp side of the bottle opener.
Right, right, right.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Or like a
And
manual can opener.
I think it was like a similar situation, but
Yeah.
I can't speak for Hawaiian Punch then, but I would say probably there's no real juice in there.
No.
No. But still delicious. So she does not find a nice snack or juice. She opens up and like I don't know how this is like worked out, but a bucket of blood just pours on her.
It was probably just like just placed off the edge of the shelf so that it would just tip right when she opened the door.
It's like
A little
fucking like
prank.
she's not in earshot, but like yeah, I mean I just know there were like times where like I open like the fridge door and there's like a can of like LaCroix or something. It's open that I accidentally knock over and spills all over the place, and I'm
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? You can't do that.
Was it filled with blood?
No, it wasn't full of blood, just with
Okay.
pamplemousse LaCroix.
Peppermints.
It is the best flavor.
I know. I it
And
is, and I love that it's the only one that is like in two languages.
yeah, because it's the most fun to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Gary's right there and happens to just swoop right in and just be like, "Oh, what's going on? Hey, hey, baby. You know,
Why don't
oh,
you take your clothes off?
yeah. Let's all get fully clothed in the bathtub.
Uh-huh.
I will undress you."
Yeah.
And again, she is, I mean, she's probably still coming to, maybe, but like
She's like in a little bit of
is
shock, I
she
guess.
isn't chloroformed anymore.
Mm-mm.
And they're just sitting in the bathtub. He's undressing her, like just clearly just rubbing her breasts.
Hmm.
Uh he's sitting with like I assume wet jeans
Oh yeah,
inside
he's
the
fully in
bathtub.
wet jeans. Gross.
Oh, awful.
Terrible
This
feeling.
dude is unhinged.
Yeah, that's the craziest shit he does in this movie is wear wet jeans.
And he, not that she like allows him to, but like she looks just like, yeah, again, just so overwhelmed, I guess, by
She almost
everything.
she's acting more like she's drugged
Yeah.
than in shock.
So still effects from I guess it's chloroform. We never know what it is exactly she's breathing in,
Yeah,
but
probably chloroform.
he carries her down, puts her on the couch naked.
Mhm.
Um, Jesus. And then, and then tries to sexually assault her
Yeah,
again.
he gets completely naked.
Yeah, and like climbs on top of her.
Hmm.
Thank fucking Christ she comes too. And
Yeah.
but at the same time, Jill, Jill. I okay, both things can be true.
Yeah.
Not blaming the victim here.
No.
Maybe what she was saying was just whatever she could say to get him off of her and out the door. I don't
Hmm.
know. Um, but oof. She's way too okay with this
Yeah.
and is almost like understanding and trying to like validate him for
Yeah.
doing what he did, or at least just
Hmm.
help him justify like where he's
Hmm.
coming from, even if she doesn't want him to do that. Because she's
Hmm.
like, I'm your, I love you like a brother. But then she's like, no, I get it, and this and this and this. And, uh, yeah, unrequited love, or I forget all the fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
But it's the answer should be stab, 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 get the fuck off of me, I'll fucking kill you,
Yeah. It
obviously.
it could be like a trauma response because this is someone that she knows and trusts. And so like I think you're like immediately, I think this is me guessing. I've never had this happen to me, but like my immediate reaction would be to like kick him in the nuts to like get him off of me. But I could see where if it's someone that you know and trust and that happened, then you like realize you being like, whoa, what the fuck is happening? Like and trying to like get your shit together. Like even if you know the person is wrong.
Yeah.
Probably one of the more realistic things that Jill does. But yeah, like she, the way that she goes from being like presumably in a trance or, whatever's happening to her versus
Hmm.
like being completely awake and coherent is kind of wild. Um, so yeah, it's just such an odd scene. And you're like, okay, if we didn't know from all the fucking clues that Gary's was the killer, now is the time where we're like, even if he's not, he is not a person that is safe to be with.
What's worse than a red flag? Like what color is worse than red?
Maybe
Because
like a flashing red
something. Oh
flag.
my gosh. Um, so Gary's off sobbing in the barn.
Yeah, poor guy.
Merv
Oh,
shows
and he
up.
says he's we go back to Gary being fully naked too, because when
Yeah.
he like steps away from her, he's literally standing there, butt ass naked, dick like in her face, and he's like, "Hey, I won't be far away." I'd be like, "Not comforting, not
Yeah.
comforting. Your
Not
dick
far
in my
away
face
enough.
right now." Like,
Yeah.
get out of here, get out
Oh
of
my
here,
God.
Gary.
Merv comes over, lets himself in. Says a bunch of cryptic shit and just says like I need you to follow me. I need you to follow me. Come on,
Hmm.
just come this way. And she's like, "The fuck? No." But she does anyway.
Yep.
That's why I'd be like, "Your brother just I don't trust either the fuck of you
Yeah.
right now."
Mm-mm.
Jesus Christ. But he Merv leads her to I don't know where this is. Their house.
I think it's Gary and Merv's place.
Okay.
Hmm.
To show her a note from their parents
Hmm.
confirming that they were not murdered. It was a suicide that Gary made to look like murder so people would feel bad for them. Because I guess
Hmm.
people wouldn't feel bad that
I
the parents killed themselves. Like,
Yeah. Weird.
yeah. And I like, unless like, like I get it. There's some very unfortunate beliefs that think that, suicide is sin,
Hmm.
rather than,
Because
a
maybe
real,
they might be a very heartless town that's just, thinking, well, they chose that.
yeah.
Hmm.
So, also to feel like, yeah, I found some of these naked photos of you, by the way, that Gary was taking, which I'd be like, first of all, give me those. Two, Merv, are those all the photos?
Yeah. We, I'm gonna need to check those clown pockets.
Yeah, you need to empty
I
those
got the
clown pockets,
bowling
Merv.
pins,
Yeah.
rubber chickens,
Starts pulling out,
all
the
the
mile
shit.
long like handkerchief, and then finds like nudie pictures at the end of it. Yeah. See, you could have made this movie
Yeah, it could have
add a
been
little more
wild.
levity. Yeah. Oh, geez. So it basically explains this situation that he's like, Gary told me that he'd fucking end me if I say anything. I don't know what to do. So it turns out Merv is a nice-ish guy, or at least,
Hmm.
trying, or very
He's
manipulated here.
Yeah, for sure. He is also a victim of Gary.
Yeah. Gary does arrive. Him and Merv begin to fight. Jill grabs a gun that's in the room, and is like yelling for Merv to stop.
Yeah.
So like, I don't get it. She shoots Merv.
She sure
Like,
does. And it's really very clear that Merv is defending himself against Gary because Gary just comes in swinging.
yeah, he grabs the scissors because he needs to stab Gary for self-defense.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
so Jill shoots Merv for some
Hmm.
fucking dumb reason. And she's like, "Oh my God, what have I done? I've killed your brother." Gary says, "It's cool, don't worry, we can be together now.
Yeah. I
We'll
would
have a
have been like,
family.
I will shoot both of you if you don't stop fighting.
We'll have a family and a dog."
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God. And she's like, "Fuck you. I need to go." And just,
Hmm.
fights him off, runs off through the woods. Um, he follows her into the barn, and this is where, like in many slasher movies, like this is where she finds all the dead bodies,
Hmm.
strung up. Which, yeah, to find your like friend and your fiance and guess her father then at this point, like all hung up, murdered.
Hmm.
So that's why it's got to be Jill's mother again inside that
Yeah,
Hobbit bunker.
it would have to
So,
be.
but again, we'll never know.
Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
um, Gary catches up and gives his whole like lonely guy bullshit incel speech.
Hmm.
Um, Parents losing the farm and having to care for
Oh.
Gary like sent him over the
Oh.
edge, you know. And he's just like, hey, I just thought like, look, I'm a guy, you're a girl. I like you. You liked me. We remember once you tried to do something with me in that tree fort years ago.
Yeah.
I never forgot about that and obsessed over that ever since. Totally in a healthy way. And
Yep.
then I thought, if everyone you loved was dead and you were all alone, and everyone I love is dead and I'm all alone,
Perfect.
you'll let me have sex with you.
Yeah.
Easy.
Forever.
Um, but also I might still just want to kill you.
Yep.
Yeah, those wires get crossed, serial killers, especially when they give their whole fucking bullshit,
Yeah. Yeah.
speeches and such. Um, she tries to kind of reason with him and then
Hmm.
also being like, hey, how about instead of killing me, maybe we can run off together. Maybe we'll go,
Hmm.
maybe you'll let me just leave and I promise we'll connect somewhere else. We'll go to the train station. I'll
Yeah.
even meet you there.
Nobody's buying that, Jill. Nice.
Yeah.
Bad try.
No one's, this is pre OJ. No one's talking about DNA. We can just put a gun in
Hmm.
Merv's hand and say, look,
Yeah.
obviously it was the clown, right?
Yeah.
And we'll just be
Yeah.
together. Don't even worry.
Mhm.
Um, Scott's like, I think I just still need to kill you. Sorry.
Well, she doesn't even try. Like, she tries to escape a second later. She doesn't even try to keep the ruse going.
Yeah. So she fights him off and runs from the barn into the woods. He's still pretty close behind. I like this music here a lot.
Yeah.
This is really fun. And
Hmm.
then this heel turn, kind of, with Gary is really silly. Um, and I do like when Gary's acting like this. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
There's like a couple shots that there's one shot that's like really fun where she's like looking around a tree and then like he
Mm,
shows up, has the knife in a tree, and then it shows him and he's just like grinning like a weirdo.
yeah. There's also a fun shot of him like popping up in the window. That's
Hmm.
really good too. Yeah. So they're like, I think that I think that he's really having fun with it. Or it feels like he is.
I don't know where this is that they end up.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
He's got like some pig hanging in there,
An old pig.
old pig that's still bleeding.
Yeah.
So how, I don't know how that works, how
Oh, right
long.
into her mouth too.
Oh, just
Ugh,
old pig blood right in the
ugh,
mouth. That's
fucking
tough.
gross.
Yeah. Um, but gets cornered. They fight for a little bit. He gets the upper hand, um, knocks her out, and then takes her back to the farm, ties her up. Maybe doesn't knock her out, but he's able to subdue her and get her back to the farm and ties
Mhm.
her up. This is when, like, and it kind of sputters from here. Because he does his whole like, saying goodbye shit and I forget exactly, like, oh, he could have been us, you
Mhm.
know, we could have had a thing, Sid, always had a thing for you, Um, but hey, Merv, who's not dead,
Nope,
but
not at all.
probably bleeding out by that shot to the
Oh,
gut, so probably feeling it. Um, Takes the gun, shoots Gary, and saves the day. Is able to, save her. And just like, all right.
yeah.
And then she's probably like, oh, thank God for this clown guy. I was, I was thinking some really mean things, to be honest.
Yeah,
But yeah, I guess you kind of came through. I'm glad I didn't.
he did.
I guess like I'm glad I didn't, immediately treat you like a monster like I maybe should have.
Wanted
I
to.
don't know. Wanted to,
Like all
yeah.
of us would have.
Yeah. Thank God for that guy. And so he's able to untie her, and who knows? Who knows where they go now? I don't know. Um, to the police, or to maybe he's gonna share like, oh yeah, by the way, I've got your mother tied up, in a
We
bunker
should go get
here.
her.
We should probably go get her.
Yeah.
Uh, but you're gonna vouch for me, right? Because she's gonna be really mad when I untie her.
Hmm.
So, um, and then that's the end of our movie, except we zoom in on or slow zoom on Gary's body, who's bleeding out quite a bit,
But clearly breathing very much.
clearly breathing,
The
and his
his
eyes,
He's not even trying to hold his breath.
no, and his eyes just shoot open. Dun dun dun. Oh no, we'll
Uh-huh.
get our blood harvest too.
Was the blood harvest just he had poured all of their when he slit their throats into the bucket and then that's what he left in Jill's refrigerator? Like she doesn't even know that that's like the blood of her fiance and friend and whoever that other man was.
That's too many bodies to fill like only one bucket.
I mean, he doesn't have to put all their blood.
I suppose
Just a
so.
little sprinkle,
Yeah.
a little cocktail.
He's a little bit just stirred up a little bit, just going from
Hmm.
body to body, just kind of moving it over. Or does he have multiple buckets underneath each one and then he mixes them together, you
Oh,
know,
there you go. There
kind
it
of
is.
situation?
Hmm.
Not sure. That's the end of our movie, Natalie. Blood Harvest.
And then we get this marvelous Mervos song in the credits, which is pretty
Yeah,
fun.
it's pretty good.
Yeah.
There, it's like how, and I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. It's like you only get Brandy, the actress, you don't get Brandy, the singer. In this movie,
You
you
get
get both Tiny
package,
Tim. You get packet the
package
full.
deal.
They paid for the full package Tiny Tim combo,
Hmm.
so good for them. Probably cost a little less.
Yeah. Yeah. Blood
Did I for,
Harvest. Ooh.
did I forget anything? I feel like I explained a little more than the small paragraph on Wikipedia.
Oh, yeah. I think you did a really thorough run through.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Hmm.
Jeez, Natalie. Are there any taglines for this movie?
There are two taglines for this movie.
Okay.
One of them is pretty bold, and the other one is not not delivering.
Not quite as much. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I'll start with the bold one. The body count alone puts it in Friday the 13th territory.
No, it doesn't.
No, it does not.
Not even close.
Jason is fucking up 10 to 13 people come like what part 3?
Jason doesn't have time to fucking like have chloroform and like have a photo shoot and shit,
No, he's
like
like
take baths with people. No, of course not. Evil one,
Jason
he doesn't
sees
like water.
titties and is enraged.
Yeah.
So, here's
I would
one.
say the titties happen to be a happenstance. I think
You think?
Jason, well, okay. Yeah, yeah, I guess it's okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was gonna try and see like how can I defend this, but no. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a trigger for him. Also, that tagline sounds like it's more of like a quote from a critic, but I don't know that this movie was watched by critics. So that's
Yeah.
just my assumption. The second tagline is a cocktail of vengeance and lust, which makes it sound way more interesting and like
It
an
just
erotic
sounds
thriller.
way sexier, and it is
Right?
not.
I know. I was
Yeah.
like, ooh, a cocktail of vengeance and lust. Like, if the movie was good, I would love that tagline.
Yeah. Or just that the movie was just, yeah. If you told me there's a movie called Lust and Vengeance, I'd be like, "Ooh, okay,
Ooh, yeah.
let's watch it. I like that."
Yes.
Yeah.
Get into it.
Boo scores.
Hmm.
Would you like me to go first?
Yeah, I would. Since you chose this movie.
Yeah. Okay. This isn't a good movie. I like the music
Mhm.
and, Tiny Tim doesn't do much in this movie
Yeah.
and isn't very good as an actor. The songs are off-putting too, but that's okay. I None of this movie makes complete sense. Not that it always has to, but ooh,
It at least
yeah,
has to be entertaining if it doesn't make sense.
and it's not.
Mhm.
So that's my challenge. Um, mm, Sorry, Blood Harvest, and sorry for everybody that watched it. I'm gonna give this half a boo.
Hmm. Anything that you liked about it?
Music.
Yeah,
And you're right, that woman, does have, a great body.
she does. Yeah.
It's just very unfortunate to watch it in non-consensual ways,
Mm-hmm.
ruins it for me.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
how about you?
Okay. A Blood Harvest. This movie is not good. You were correct. And it has no good kills either. So at
Nope.
least like if it even had like one memorable kill, it's just that falls flat. And they're so busy trying to make you think that Merv is up to something or that he's the killer when clearly it's Gary. There's only so many suspects it could be. So that really takes away from the film for me and doesn't give enough credit to the audience.
Or at least clearly there's a second guy who's actually harming people that you see, like whether it's Gary or
Exactly.
not. So like why
Yeah,
are we
it's
trying to
definitely
think it's
not
Merv?
Merv. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you'd be able to see his long hair, right? The acting is bad, especially Jill, who is our main character. The way that she delivers lines and shows that she is worried for people missing is so chill. Like, it's too chill. It's too much.
I like that they at least post shower and then for the rest of the movie they got her out of that bad hairdo.
Yeah.
Though I did like
Yes,
her
very
outfit
80s.
in the beginning. Yeah, very 80s.
Oh, that is such a fun 80s outfit. And like everybody's rocking Levi's. Love that.
Hmm.
And then, like I did get excited for the excessive nudity in the beginning. Like I did send a text. I was like, full bush, full boo, or one boo. Like that's pretty
Yeah.
exciting. But then it just takes a turn. I was like, no, can we just have fun excessive nudity? It was not fun nudity. So other than the music, this movie really doesn't have much going for it. And there's plenty of other movies that have fine, fun 80s music. I would not recommend this to anyone, and I would not leave it on if it was on in a hotel. I'm
No.
also going to give it half a boo. And the only other movie that we've given this low of a score to is Ghost Ship.
Did we give that both of that half a boo or one boo?
We both gave it half a boo. And
Damn.
I will say I would not want to watch either of those movies again, but because Ghost Ship doesn't have sexual assaults, I'll put that like slightly like a higher point 0.5.
It has unnecessary nudity, but yeah.
Yeah.
But
But
not
that's
not
I'm okay
yeah.
with the unnecessary nudity as you know. But no.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a winner. Good pick, Kyle.
Oh no, yeah. All right. Well, I'm gonna try to make up for it as we go. Um,
October is going
we're
to be so much better.
Yeah, October will be really fun. Really, really happy to get like right in deep into spooky season with you, Natalie.
Me
Yeah.
too.
All right. Take care, everybody. Obviously lock your doors, put some
Yeah.
pants on.
Put pants on when you answer the door,
Yeah. Um,
no matter who you are. If you do it as a woman, no. If you do it as a man, gross.
And if you're trying to have sex, take your pants off.
Yeah, come on now. Yeah, if you're trying to get laid, take
What do you?
those Levi's off. They looked great on him, but
Yeah.
take the Levi's off.
And pick up a ukulele and learn some chords. Because the thing about ukulele, it's equal parts like everything sounds cute, everything sounds obnoxious, and everything sounds a little creepy too.
Hmm.
I I feel like I just feel like if you're not like at like a luau, there's no reason for you to be playing ukulele, you know?
Yeah, because then it immediately goes to creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I broke that rule and it was creepy. So
You would.
I would. So, that's all I got. All right, everybody. Take care. Three, two, one, ghost.
Thanks for listening to our episode on Blood Harvest. I hope you enjoyed this episode more than we enjoyed this movie. If so, you can subscribe to our podcast and leave us a killer review on whichever platform you choose to listen. You can find us on Instagram at 321GhostPod and give us a follow. We would love to hear your thoughts on the film. Follow us on Letterboxd at 321GhostPod to see our boo scores on all of the movies we've covered so far. Thanks again for listening, and remember to keep the gratuitous nudity classy. 3, 2, 1, ghost.